In this video, I'm going to develop a student registration form using React. At the end of this video, you will learn about class-based component, render method, state, and also how to use event handlers. Now let's get started. First, you have to install all React Node module into your application. In the command line, type npx create React app and your application name. In my case, I type student app. Now redirect to student app and type npm start. After installation completed, now I am going to install Bootstrap into my student app. Now I am going to remove all unknown thread files and codes from my student app. Now I'm done with all installation. Let me check again if my app is working. Okay, now let's start to develop my form. First, you have to create JX file called student component, and inside this student component, I am importing import React from React. By adding this statement, this student component file going to be defined as a React file. Now I am inherit my student component class from parent class. To do that, I type class student component extend component. Within the curly brackets, I want to type the method called render. The usage of having this method is, it is return the React element to the browser. And to return that, we can use return inside the render method. All the React element which I am going to return, I need to include inside this div tag. And after that, I need to export my student component class using export default student component. At the beginning of this video, I told you I need to have a state in my application. To declare the state, I need to use constructor in my student component. So, before the render method, I am adding constructor. Inside this constructor, the first line want to be super keyword. By adding this super keyword, it will grab the information from the component class that my student component class wants. And after that, I can declare state. Inside this state, I want to mention the properties that I am going to access throughout my class. In my case, those properties are first name, last name, email, and address. Now I am going to design my registration form inside this div tag. Now I open a new div tag and add the class name as container, and again add another div tag and the bootstrap class is row. Before I move into the next step, I want to show you my final product. Now you can see in my registration form, all fields are inside in a box and that box is covered with the outliner. So to achieve this design, I can use card type bootstrap, and now I'm going to add that bootstrap design to my registration form. Now open form tag, and inside that I give a bootstrap class called name form group, and add label as a first name. Now open the input tag, mention the placeholder class name, and add value and the onChange. Right now I leave it empty because I want to explain how you can get the value and the onChange. OnChange is an event handler. When we type the value in first name field in our registration form, that value passes to this onChange handler method. The value would be this.state.firstname. Now I'm going to call this change first name event handler before my render method, and that event handler method return synthetic metadata such as target input field ID, name, and the value. To do that, I want to type this dot set state, And I can assign the value to first name by adding the event.target.value. In here, the usage of having set state is it is update the current value of our first name in the registration. And finally, I need to find this change first name handler method inside my constructor using this dot change first name handler equal this dot change first name handler dot bind this. Let me recap what we did. When I enter the value to the first name field, change first name handler is triggered and set the value to the input state. But before updating my first name, I need to have property and default value to be updated. And once all these things happen, form automatically track the first name value for me. Similarly, we can follow the same step for other field also. Let me copy this and change label, placeholder, value and on change. Now I'm going to call those onChange handler method in here. And bind those methods inside the constructor. Now I'm going to add my student component into app.js. And import Bootstrap CS to my index.js. Now let's refresh the browser. Let's see why card Bootstrap is not applied for my registration form. here I need to add card. I just forget that. Alright. Now I need to add few more things into my registration form. Save button, cancel button, and also title to my registration form. Let's add those things also. Save button booster class is success because I want to show it in green color. And on-click event handle method name is save student. And also for the cancel button, I want to represent it in a red color. And I add that one also. Cancel button event method handler, I bind it here without going to the constructor. Because I want to show you the binding thing you can do inside your event handler also. Now close the button. Now I'm going to call my save student event handler method in here. And to prevent the native behavior of the browser, I'm using prevent default. And I'm create JavaScript variable to print my registration form detail to the console. And don't forget to bind that save student to the constructor. Now I'm implementing cancel handler method. In here I'm using reset method to clear the registration from detail. In here I am adding line break tag above the save button. Now open the console and check how the value is passed from student registration form. Fill first name, last name, email, and address. And save the data. Now you can see all the input field is successfully printed to the console, and let me check the cancel button also. Yes, here we go. So now we are completed our registration form using class component, event handler, and state. And I mentioned the source code in my description below. If you have any doubt, just follow the step, and I add the few details about how event handling and state is working together. Just follow that as well. Until my next video, see you then.